New this morning, Colorado Springs police are investigating multiple shootings early this morning. Just after 1 a.m., one person called police after someone fired a gun into their window at the Stetson Ridge Apartments. A few hours later, police received another call about a shooting at the Barrel Bar just about half-mile from the initial shooting. Police say a woman's vehicle was struck with several bullet holes. Colorado Springs police say they believe these two incidents are connected. Police are able to connect the shootings based on witness statements. Officers found a total of 11 shell casings from both of the scenes. No arrests have been made at this time and no one was injured. And a big save in Pueblo as deputies arrested a man at the Pueblo West Walmart who was trying to steal an off-duty sheriff's deputy's truck. It happened around 10 yesterday morning when deputies say a man stole hundreds of dollars worth of merchandise from the store, threatening employees with a gun. 47-year-old Amir Everett of Denver was arrested after loading the stolen items into the truck and breaking the window to gain access. And another robbery arrest in Pueblo by law enforcement just hours before that, too. Police say an officer saw this truck just before midnight, which was reported stolen earlier that day. After a brief struggle, officers were able to take the driver into custody. Later, an investigation showed that the suspect was wanted for another robbery just an hour before. The suspect now in the Pueblo County Detention Center. In Colorado, drug overdose deaths taking more than 1,800 lives in the year leading up to September 2021. A new program now aiming to reduce that number. Using an online order form, anyone who lives in Denver can now order fentanyl testing strips and Narcan, the drug that reverses opioid overdoses. The only catch is that people have to watch a 5-minute video before placing the order, and they will get that free order delivered to them. President Joe Biden will meet with the National Security Council today to discuss the increasing tensions in Ukraine and new signs of fears that a war could start within days. Germany and Austria told their citizens to leave Ukraine. Karina Mitchell has the latest. Is suggesting a 4th dose of the COVID-19 booster shot might be needed closer to fall. Because fall is typically the timeline for flu shots, the same could be true for an additional COVID booster. Right now, a 4th shot is only recommended for immunocompromised people. The CDC reports that half of eligible Americans to get the COVID booster have gotten one. The pandemic has created enormous tragedy, but there also are stories of hope. In New Hampshire, a woman who went into a COVID-induced coma shortly after giving birth has made a miraculous recovery. As Jennifer Crompton reports, she's given her nurses new inspiration. Yeah, let's hold. All right, Marty, thank you. And here is Rob Namnoom with your morning sports.
Have a good day.
Woohoo, go Avs. The carnival season has returned to New Orleans. How this town will celebrate its final days before Fat Tuesday. And many retail items are getting pulled from the shelves. We'll tell you why next. Great, sounds good, Marty. Thank you. The school board saga continues this morning as former Douglas County Superintendent Corey Wise now making it clear he intends to file a lawsuit against the district. Wise was fired 2 weeks ago after a contentious school board meeting. A letter sent to the district from Wise's law firm seeks to obtain substantial documents, including emails and other communications related to his termination. Across our state, districts feeling a school lunch crunch as counts for students needing free meals have been thrown off, leaving schools with millions of dollars of funding shortages. Anusha Roy takes a look at what happened
this year.
In Boulder, a judge now issuing an order just over a year later asking why an update on the mental health of the man accused of killing 10 people at the Boulder King Supers has not been provided. The order notes that the Colorado Mental Health Institute at Pueblo failed to comply with court orders the past 2 months. Since an initial ruling that the suspect was incompetent to stand trial, no update has been provided to the court. Also in Boulder, a developer now reaching out to the victims of the Marshall Fire, asking if they are interested in selling their burned lots. Most of the lots are up for sale in the area, starting at around $300,000, even getting up to just under $800,000. The developer who lives in Boulder says he wants to see something beautiful done with the area after the devastation. A recall alert yesterday as several products from Family Dollar are being recalled after evidence was found of rodents at a distribution center. Family Dollar is voluntarily recalling some medications, human and animal food, cosmetics, and more. Family Dollar shipped the now recalled FDA-regulated products to 404 stores in the South and Southeast last month. So far, no human or animal illnesses have been reported. And the United States lifted a temporary ban on the imports of avocados from Mexico. The ban went into effect last week after a U.S. food inspection received a death threat. The U.S. said that it would reinstate mutual accountability to export avocados once inspectors could safely do their jobs without fearing for their lives. Enough has been done to assuage the U.S. of those concerns after Mexico announced that they would make a specific amount of security changes and improvements. The United States would resume inspection operations, which will allow the flow of avocados from Mexico to the United States. A grim anniversary, as yesterday marks 80 years since the internment of Japanese Americans, some of them in southeastern Colorado. Yesterday, leaders and survivors honoring Camp Amache in Grenada. It's a day of remembrance for the more than 7,000 people in prison during World War II. The U.S. Army relocating Japanese Americans to internment facilities like Amache. Now, a new bill making its way through Congress would make the former site of the internment camp into a national park. NFL Pro Football Hall of Famer Charlie Taylor has passed away at the age of 80. The announcement came from the Washington Commanders last night. Taylor played 14 years as a running back and wide receiver for the old Redskins franchise. In a record-setting career, Taylor became Washington's all-time touchdown leader. After making 8 Pro Bowls, he retired as a player to coach the team's wide receivers for 13 years. Taylor was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1984. Sporting documentary, part musical film, part historical record, created around an epic event that celebrated Black history, culture, and fashion in 1969. Then at 9:30, an episode of The Wonder Years. Then get all the stories you may have missed right here on KRDO News Channel 13 at 10. Well, we all love them. They're part of your family and most definitely devoted to us. And today it's your chance and our chance to show them just how important they are. It is National Love Your Pet Day. Take your pup on an extra long walk, shower them with tasty treats, give your feline friends some little cuddle time. And while it's easy to bestow some extra love on your companions, today's also a good day to make sure their vaccines and preventative meds are up to date. That'll help keep them healthy every day, and that's one of the best ways to take care of your little fur baby. Voters in Colorado could soon decide whether wine can be sold at grocery stores alongside beer. Full-strength beer became a staple at stores back in 2019. And now a coalition led by the state's largest grocery stores has submitted a pair of ballot initiatives that could put wine alongside beer on store shelves. The state has until late March to accept the ballot language, and then backers are going to need to get about 125,000 signatures before it can ultimately make its way onto the November ballot. Opponents say if passed, local liquor stores could lose much of their business. If you are planning a summer vacation on American Airlines, you may want to stick to domestic flights. The airline is cutting its schedule again because Boeing is behind on its 787 Dreamliner deliveries. So far, the routes impacted include Seattle to London, Los Angeles to Sydney, and Dallas to Tel Aviv. Airlines have been hoping for a rebound as travel restrictions loosen around the world. Boeing has been addressing a series of manufacturing flaws. Earlier this week, the FAA said its inspectors would check each Dreamliner before delivery. That's instead of letting Boeing perform the inspections like they usually did in the past. Taking you outside as we head to break, here's a live look from I-25 and Monument. We'll be right back. Marty's got your final forecast coming up.
Much of a factor for you in Pueblo or Canyon City, but you will be cloudy and maybe have some flurries around. It's going to be kind of a miserable day that way.
Oh, the usual. All right. Thanks, Marty, and
You're
thanks
welcome.
for joining us on Good Morning Colorado. Have a great day. We'll see y'all soon.
Thank you for watching KRDO News Channel 13. KRDO 13 is now available on any of these streaming services and devices.